Patriots or Rams?
Patriots.
I'm thinking Patriots actually destroy them.
I'm going to say it's going to come down to the wire.
Okay.
I'm going to say Patriots 34-31. Fourth quarter as time expires.
Nice. All right. Patriots 42-28. They put the nail in the coffin at the end of the fourth quarter.
Brady retires?
No. He's going to play till he dies.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Tutell here, alongside my good friend, colleague, co-host,
Ruben Borges.
and this is episode number 13 of TTS Talk. 13 episodes, or 12 episodes down already.
We're going to have to
We're on 13.
Yeah.
I know, it's getting kind of crazy. How you feeling?
Not too bad, man. I'm feeling really good, actually.
Well, what I wanted to talk to you about today, Ruben, is actually about your training, about your nutrition right now. So what do you got going on? Tell the people who don't know.
So I'm currently preparing for the Classic Physique and the NPC Classic, John Kemper Classic on April, off the top of my head right now, I think it's April 6th in Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Good to see you're prepared.
Yes. So with that being said, I've been preparing for about 16 weeks. I started 16 weeks
Before you get into that, though, what is the Classic Physique?
So Classic Physique, so here we go. Everyone knows bodybuilding, right? And the basic Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilding. Since then, they added the men's physique, which is something me and Chris have done before. Guys in board shorts, it's a lesser physique. There's not really posing in it. Then after that, they added the Classic Physique, which is somewhere in between men's physique and bodybuilding. So the Classic Physique, there's posing, and for the articles I read,
a leaner physique, not as lean as like men's physique. This is where it gets weird. It probably gets confusing for most people. It's like, where's the line between men's physique and then Classic Physique and bodybuilding? Like, where's the line drawn? I guess it's pretty subjective. It's the judges really determine that, but it's like the Classic Physique is like, you want a decent amount of muscle, a narrow waist, but not as huge as bodybuilding. Yeah. That's kind of like the line
from the articles I read, they're like trying to get that look because they believe the bodybuilders now do not look as aesthetic as Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he won, and who's the guy, Lou Ferrigno. So they're trying to get that look again. So somewhere in
leaner
the
waist,
middle there,
out, but still jacked,
and not like I guess a mutated look of really massively huge.
Right.
One thing I liked about it was I got intrigued. I always wanted to pose, and I think for me that's gonna be cool. Go on stage and actually learning posing routines. Learning the double bicep, everything, and to properly engage all the muscle groups. That's gonna be new. The physique I enjoyed men's physique. To touch back what you're saying, I noticed a lot of people when they were doing a show, because I guess they're caught in between two. They do men's physique and Classic Physique.
Oh, they'll do two divisions. Are you doing both, or are you just doing?
I thought about it. I still might. I might make it a game time decision at the end.
Okay.
Because the guy who won Classic Physique, the one that I did last year, the show, he was in men's physique also. I don't think he placed in men's physique, or he might have placed, but he didn't win. In Classic Physique, he won.
And he won.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I know.
And I guess that has a lot to do with posing as well.
Yeah, I think the
right?
posing was big.
Just so people know, like in the men's physique, when you're wearing board shorts, you're not showing off your legs, your quads, which would probably be better for you.
Oh, come on.
And you're not flexing and actually going through a posing routine like you mentioned. So
to segue to that though, one thing with my training that I've been doing is what's been different. I'm very big with power training, building strength, and hypertrophy as well, muscle growth. But with the last 6 weeks, I'm just trying to dial in on muscle groups that may be weaker. So like my quads, I don't really get a lot of engagement there. They don't really listen.
Help this man.
Right in there, no matter what, as I'm, any type of lower body exercise I'm doing, my glutes get a lot of activation. Though I'm dialing in on my actual quad, it's very hard for me to get full engagement to get the quads like this guy. So I've been doing a lot of front squatting, heel elevated squats, but more so than anything, what I've done the last couple weeks, it's the mind muscle connection. I'm trying to really tempo my reps and really feel the quad engagement as I'm going down, as I'm going up from a rep scheme of things, and that seems to be somewhat of a game changer for me. I'm feeling a difference.
What I wanted to talk to you about too, with your squat, to get more quad activation, to hit more of a knee break squat instead of sitting back like a powerlifting squat. So we'll go over that shit later. So
yeah, that's something. Yeah, and I know you were kind of giving me a couple tips to do. I've been incorporating them as well, and I'm feeling a lot better. One thing is I'm interested to see. I'm going to be working with the posing coach, Dwayne from Diamond Gym. Give him a nice shout out.
Dwayne McDaniel.
Yeah, legend. That's where we started. So I'll be going with him Tuesday. So I think that's going to be interesting because I'm going to learn how to activate all the muscle groups, and then I'll really see, like, all right, definitely need a lot of work here, or, you know what, this looks really good. You know, I think sometimes you might shock yourself. I think with a certain pose, when you learn how to pose, you might be like, wait a minute.
It's exhausting. So you can,
I know.
And you got to breathe behind that staying flexed and staying tight and being able to breathe and keep your abs contracted and shit.
This is going to be new. And this is going to be new, and I'm excited for it because I think it'll open your mind up to, one, I think you might gain confidence. You might be like, oh, wait a minute, the quads don't look that bad. Or it might absolutely destroy it. And Dwayne might look at me and be like, hey, he's flexing? Yes, this is everything right here.
Or you might get a boner on stage.
What? Absolutely not. That's not going to happen.
So with all that said though, so how long is your preparation going to be total time from the day you start your diet and your training until the day of the show? Like, what's the total time?
I started so we're going 16 weeks back.
16 weeks
total. I got 9 weeks till the show, so it's been 7 weeks.
Okay, so you're 7 weeks in now. Okay, so these first 7 weeks, what has your diet been like? What has your training been like leading up to this point?
All right, so training, high volume, and really a lot of tempo-based, a lot of eccentric control, even concentric control, isolation holds, and really dialing in on the muscle groups to really create separation.
So slowing down the rep on the eccentric phase. So for those of you that don't know, the lengthening phase of a rep, so if we'll just use a bench press as an example, the way down would be the eccentric phase. So what Rube is referring to, on the way down, he's keeping more control, and the idea there is to create more muscular damage, right? More muscular damage could lead to more muscle growth. So you've been doing a lot of that, so breaking down more muscle with eccentrics, isometric holds, right? So we're hitting different contractions. So
whether it be at the bottom position or the top position of a hold, just to kind of go on with a bench press up top, really squeezing the pec muscles together, and really dialing in on the muscle groups. I'll tell our members here, sometimes any type of pressing or squat that we're doing, don't just think of it as going from A to B. Think of going from A to B with a purpose. So let's say a squat, going from the eccentric position down concentric up to top position. Feel the muscle groups that are needing to be worked. I think a lot of times, and you see a lot with beginners, down and up. They just think, all right, I gotta go down and up. They don't actually realize, hey, driving through your heels, feel your quads, feel the glute squeeze up top.
Right. It's kind of like last week's episode we talked about with the bench press.
And just going down and up, and that's been a big difference. And I know, for those who are watching, probably think, hey, well, I want my muscle to grow all the time. Maybe I'll just do that all the time. And that's something, coach, right? It just doesn't work to do it all the time.
The thing is, like, okay, so if you are training to get ready for a competition, for a physique show, or if you're just strictly in a phase where you don't really care how well you move, it doesn't really matter how sore you get. So you could beat the shit out of the muscle and bang yourself up. But to do that day in, day out would really fry you out systemically. And also, if you are a police officer, a firefighter, or you just want to be able to take a shit without your legs killing you, right? It's not the best idea to just go get yourself sore all the time. You could even maybe, depending on how you use it, you could maybe even lose strength if you were just doing that all the time and just
your body adapts.
Well, you just be making yourself sore. It gets tough to recover from. So you have to kind of work it in strategically in order to get the benefit. So you wouldn't want to just do it 12 months out of the year working on eccentrics and just really focusing on that type of those particular movements.
And that's why I would know that, because I like to do it based on that. It's almost like kind of getting ready for the summer, muscle building. I have a purpose. I'm doing it for a show. Afterwards,
right? If you're an athlete, it's not like you want to walk around sore all the time. When you're training for some type of physique competition, you're gonna be doing higher volume, more sets, more reps. You want to try to create more muscular damage if your goal is to build muscle at that time. So,
it's an ass kicker sometimes. So then, a couple of sessions may not be as fun as it could be. So I've been doing that for the last 7 weeks.
So 7 weeks, right?
Continuing that. With the new program, I just incorporate a strength movement though, just because I just want to keep adding that in. plus me, I want to keep enjoying training, so I don't want to fry myself out mentally. So I'm adding into that.
What does your diet look like the last 7 weeks?
So the diet is, I'll go 3 low carb days, and then on my 4th day would be a high carb day.
Hold on right there. Shout out to our boy John Alvino, the old school.
You started
the
this whole
Alvino
thing,
carb
you know?
cycle since 2001 probably.
Never left. It's my go-to, and I feel the best with it. So let's say we'll cut it down. It's been 6 meals.
Yeah.
I'll have 3 carb meals, and then 3 protein base with some fats or some veggies with it. I have a tough time having my veggies in, so I don't count this as a meal, but I have the athletic greens in the morning. I'll either have it once if I have a heavy training day and I'm training, doing cardio with it, or I'll have it twice that day. That's how I'll get my greens in, and then I'll try to add some roasted veggies.
What type of carbohydrates are you
So
using?
the carbs is baked potatoes, sweet potatoes, or I'll go white rice, brown rice, or I'll go oatmeal.
Okay. And do grains like oats and rice, do they affect you at all?
So I've noticed my oats, great for the morning. I'm feeling great. I have a lot of energy. White rice, I digest very well. I have the white rice, it's no issue. Get a nice pump afterwards. Same thing with the potatoes as well. And my protein that I add with all those meals is either grilled chicken, ground beef, lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, or I'll have eggs. So that is what I'll vary throughout. So let's say I'm meal prepping, I'll meal prep ground beef, I have those for the next 2 days. Then maybe a couple days after that, I'll have eggs. And when I have eggs, I'll have 6 eggs. I'll have 3 whole ones and 3 egg whites. When I put them in either with my rice or I make them into an omelet with my baked potato. You know, and with my oatmeal, I'll have a teaspoon of natural peanut butter. That could be an issue sometimes because sometimes your hand just sometimes gets a little bit more than it can. So I've tried to.
His half a teaspoon is half a jar. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, but it's just by accident because the spoon's big. So throw that in there. Then I also put my protein in there, mix it up. That's usually my breakfast, my first carb meal of the day. And then my second 2 meals will either be rice with eggs or chicken or baked potato with eggs or chicken.
Okay, and do any of those foods affect you in a way where you feel lethargic after eating or anything like that? Like, do you feel like you developed any food sensitivities over the years? And the reason I ask is because I think I told you before, if I eat a bowl of oatmeal now,
yes, okay.
my nose starts immediately running and I go into a coma and I have to take a nap. So
I would say on the high carb day when I have potatoes.
okay.
If I'm loading up on potatoes,
Potatoes do it too? Yeah. Okay.
And I'll kind of feel like
Baked potatoes or sweet potatoes?
baked potatoes.
Okay.
More of the baked potatoes, I guess. Sweet potatoes, I have to roast them, and sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't. So when I don't, then I'll just have the baked potatoes. I've been used to it right now. I notice 6 weeks that mark. You go 6 weeks in, I'm locked in now. I don't want anything else. Now, do I have urges? Yeah, of course, you want to like enjoy food, but now you start seeing changes, and that's the one thing I'm noticing. After 6 weeks, you start seeing body composition changes, right? I'm getting leaner in the waist, and then there becomes like this flick of a switch. You're just like, all right, I'm locked in now. Let's do this, just keep it going. And then probably, I would assume by March 20th, I'm just picking a day. That's when I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and now at this stage of the game, there's no cheats, right?
No.
You haven't cheated at all in the last 7 weeks.
I thought about a refeed.
Okay.
I thought about doing that, and then it's just, I don't know.
Well, sometimes with the refeed, I always will ask myself, do I really need fucking pizza and Snickers bars, or am I just trying to make excuses for myself so I could cheat? So I was never into the whole refeed thing, and I know people do it, but like, I think like if you're gonna refeed, you could always refeed with clean foods and just eat a lot more. You increase that caloric consumption, multiply it that times whatever you've been doing, and just really eat a shit ton of food.
So that's what I did, and it was like that day came. I was thinking of having a cheesesteak, but then I was like, I was thinking, well, I don't.
That's your inner bitch talking. It's
I was like, I want some
trying to get you to do it.
refeed. So what I did, I added some cheese to some of the meals that I had, and that was basically after 4 weeks I had that. Then after that, I was good. Now I'm really locked in. The athletic greens help me a lot because that's something that just helps one in the morning and it gets my greens in because that's what's hard for me to get. Sometimes, especially with work, sometimes you just don't meal prep in time, and it's something I just like to have it in a liquid form.
Now, so what would you say? So you're 7 weeks in, right? So essentially no cheats besides your Fugazi cheese meals.
Yeah.
But with that said, a lot of people will say things like it's unrealistic to go without cheating because they want to have a social life and whatever else. And you know, I'm not suggesting that everyone should eat like they're training for a bodybuilding competition, right? Because that does get very detailed. You have to really get dialed in and strict. But just generally speaking, like, have you had a social life? Have you been going out? Have you really changed your lifestyle in the sense where you feel like you're not living your life because of this diet you've been on?
That's a great question. I think that's the first thing people think of is, well, you don't do anything on the weekend. You don't go out there. You're not drinking with everyone. I still go out. I still see everyone. I'm fine with it. I feel good. If anything, I'd rather do more things during the day.
Do you go out to dinner?
You know, yeah. Go out to dinner. I'll have the cleanest meal on the menu there. You know.
And as you get closer to the show, you probably won't do that. But for the most part, like, if you're not trying to get on stage, you don't necessarily have to. You could absolutely go out to dinner. And people ask me this question all the time. They're like, "Well, don't you go out and have a social life?" One of my favorite things to do is actually go to dinner with my friends and people I care about, right?
Yeah, you always do that.
I always go out
I think
to
people really think that you trap yourself at home, right?
Yeah, but like you could always order the fucking salmon, the chicken breasts, right? There's always clean options. So you don't have to go and force yourself to, or you don't have to go and eat pizza just because your friends are. You don't have to drink a bottle of wine at dinner, right?
Like I got my mark. I know 6 weeks before, that's when it's like, all right, it's really like dialing in now.
Right, but again, competition is different than most of the people watching this, right?
And I'm doing this because I feel really comfortable when I have a structure right before the summer, because I enjoy the summer. The summer, you know, I like having fun. I maintain, you know, I still stay fit. All that, you know, we go out, we go vacation, whatever, things like that. You have your occasional ice cream, but something for me personally, this giving myself this 12-week or 16-week little challenge to do a show. One, I always wanted to do a posing thing. It's something new. I'm really big with doing new things.
What song are you going to post to?
I don't know if they're going to allow me to. If they do, you know, that's going to a lot of deep meaning in that. I'm going to think about that for a while. But this is something that just helps me. And
Shawn Michaels' theme song.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That was a horrible idea, and I really hope you.
That would be great. So, but one thing I always challenge everyone: give yourself something to work for, whatever it be. It'd be a TTS challenge like that we do here, the Game Changer Challenge, or maybe it's me. I want to do a show. I've never posed in front of a stage before. I want to give it a shot, see how it goes. That's a lot of fun. That gives me something to work for. And then when I'm done, I'm good. I actually have a baseball season after that, so I got something else to look forward to. So give yourself a challenge. It goes a long way. This is mine, and I'm excited for it, and I'm pretty jacked up for it. It's something new. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
You made that up?
No, I got it from it, but I like it. It's one of my favorite quotes.
So that's awesome, and I couldn't agree more. I definitely think like having something to focus on and having a goal with a deeper meaning is going to be something that really can help get you to that next level, right?
So one thing with the social life, right? I've discovered this. I enjoy my occasional beer, right? You know, not during this stretch, obviously, but when we go out, you know, I have a beer or two. Club soda. I don't know, it works for me. Clean club soda, go crack it open. So if anyone's kind of like,
so you feel like you feel like you have to have a drink in your hand.
It's kind of when I go out social, I just have club soda. That's like my replacement. Doesn't mean I'm drinking with everyone else. I'm just drinking water and club soda, and like so. There's always just you can still be along with everyone, just having fun. Doesn't necessarily you need a drink or a beer. I think for me, I go with club soda. You know, it's just a little different than water. Because I do get bored drinking water.
And for me, with alcohol consumption too, when people ask me like, "Don't you drink?" or like, sure, I do when it's worth it. Like, just because I'm going somewhere, like if I'm going to dinner and there's a couple people that are drinking, like if I'm training tomorrow, I have jiu-jitsu the next day early, or if I have something to do, I don't need to drink. Like I could absolutely just have a great time. Like so, I don't understand. It's just you're just associating the two things where they don't really have to be associated. Like you could go have a great time doing whatever the hell, you know, eating, going to dinner, whatever, going to a social gathering. I always tell people, my advice is if it's worth drinking, like you're going to a bachelor party and you're going to Vegas for the weekend, enjoy yourself. Yeah, do what the hell you got to do, right? But when it's not worth it, you don't have to make drinking a staple in your lifestyle 5-6 days a week, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. And one thing I will say, You don't understand how much that drinking does hold in that extra fat, that extra water. When we're done,
well, you just get all those extra calories.
You stop drinking, you realize, you start seeing the leanness come. So for anyone that wants to, all right, I want to challenge myself, but I'm still gonna have a couple drinks in the weekend here. Hold out for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Right, you'll see the change a lot faster than you would without it. If you truly are, want to challenge yourself in that way, give yourself an 8-week mark. That's it, 8 weeks. Then you can get back to it. But that'll help you get to your goal a lot faster. That does add to it, especially if you're a little heavier drinker in the weekend or something like that.
And back to training for a second. So you were saying you did a lot more tempoed and time reps, right? So a lot more focus on. Have you increased volume? Like, how have you kind of progressed your program over the last 7 weeks, and like where do you plan on taking it?
So like my main lifts, I've been hitting 12 with the volume, 12 reps, then 10 accessories, a lot of 12 to 15 with the tempo. Recently I added a lower volume, or 8 reps, just because I was getting bored with it and I just needed to change it up, and I felt like my body needed it. And I felt really good. I just did it the first week, this past week. So then after this, as I get closer, it'll be about 6 weeks away, then really dial in on that tempo again and just take it to the finish line. Really focus on squeezing the muscle groups. And I know the last week, that's when I'll go to you, because I know you helped me out with that a lot, with really creating separation, especially as I'm starting to get a little tighter in my skin. That's going to be the game changer going towards the end. And then, maybe we can talk about it again in future episodes as we get closer with the posing, and I'll get the posing down and stuff like that, and what to do the last few weeks before the show.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, that sounds great, man. Good luck to you. I hope everything works out. I know you'll kill it. So.
Well, listen, it's going to be fun. Listen, I'm just glad to pose. And if I can pose to the Shawn Michaels music or Hulk Hogan music, whatever, what?
I hope your nuts fall out of your trunks.
I just got to figure out what color to wear.
So look, real quick, you can't go wrong with black, kid. Mm-hmm. So we had a couple of questions that people asked us on Instagram, right? So why don't we finish off today's episode with that? Let's see what we got.
Some great questions lately.
Let's see. Some of these I have to just give a quick proofread here because I got a little worried here.
Some don't relate to the subject.
All right. So Nick Starakis wants to know, why are you a sick man to keep sending me lions eating poor giraffes? It's just what entertains me, buddy. Sorry.
He does do that.
Okay. All right, so Eric LaRue wants to know cryo benefits, and is it worth it or not? So what I'll say is, if you do cryotherapy one time, you're not going to feel any different, right? Now, if you work it into your routine consistently, from an inflammation standpoint, absolutely, you could it's definitely going to have a positive effect, right? And now, as far as joint pain or whatever else, so I was having some shoulder pain. Actually, my AC joint was a little jacked up from jiu-jitsu. Actually, it was kind of jacked up pretty bad, actually, for the last.
I remember you telling me that, and you were ecstatic when you were like, man, I don't know, man, this is feeling really good.
And like I mentioned on I don't know what episode it was, a couple episodes ago, I've been focused a lot more on recovery, and I've been doing cryo twice a week and sauna twice a week, and I've absolutely noticed a tremendous difference in my shoulder. I don't have any pain at all.
That's huge.
So, yes, the answer is there's definitely a benefit, but you have to be consistent. And I would say you have to go at least twice a week to see any type of...
Probably a month?
For at least a month, maybe 2 months, to really see a real benefit. Okay? So if you want to give it a shot, go in there with the intention to do it consistently over the course of a month. I would say at least twice a week. All right. Let's see. Do you take cold showers? Adam Glenn wants to know. Yes, I do, actually. And I think cold showers are great for lowering inflammation. I think it's a great hormetic stressor to expose yourself to cold. And the benefits of that's kind of creating that stress in your body, so you could then develop you could develop a tolerance, continue the word, a tolerance to external stress. So yes, cold showers.
You put it really cold, and for how long?
Every day. I try to get 3 minutes, but I don't always get 3 minutes. Like when it's 12 degrees like it is today, I might get like 60 seconds if I'm lucky. But but yeah, but that's a staple in my routine every day. So what is my morning routine? So my morning routine, it's the same goddamn thing every morning. So I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. I go to the bathroom, do my thing. First thing, I make my bed. Second thing, I read my goals. Then I go for a walk or I do some type of movement. So if it's pouring rain outside, I obviously don't go outside and walk in the rain. But I'll do like a little warm up, some mobility drills for maybe 10 minutes or so. But my favorite thing to do is get outside and walk, because getting outside, exposing yourself to sunlight, that's one of the best things that you can do. Get your heart rate up, it's great for burning fat.
Especially if it's a beautiful day, get you out there.
Yeah, put my headphones on, get a podcast on, or something motivational, just get myself in the right frame of mind for the day. When I get back in, then I'll read for 20 minutes. That's non-negotiable. Those are all my non-negotiables every day.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I forgot that in the morning, I will always, before I go out for the walk, I'll slam down at least 16 ounces of room temperature water, pink Himalayan sea salt, half a lemon. That's before I hit the walk. Basically sums up my morning routine, and we're low on battery, guys, so we're going to have to wrap this up. But so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope you got a lot out of this. Rube, best of luck to you, man.
Great.
I really hope,
done,
I hope
Look
everything
forward
works
to it.
out.
I hope to see you guys
And
there.
I know you guys are looking forward to seeing Ruben in his underwear, oiled down and all tanned up on stage. I know you guys are. Let's give him a little round of applause, guys. Yeah, clap it up for this guy.
Don't worry, we're going to have a vote soon on what color I should wear. I'm thinking yellow.
I'm thinking hot pink with neon fuel injection on the butt cheeks. Go for it, baby.
All right,
guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We will catch you next week on another episode of
TTS Talk. That works.
TTS Talk.
Yeah.
Best shot. Yo, what's up, guys? Chris Tutela here.
Alongside
What are you doing?
his good friend,
Why are you pointing at the camera?
Ruben. Gorgeous.
What's going on here?